Welcome to BS Draft, where we are Brandon and Steven, and we're back at you with another video. Little unorthodox for us. We're typically here on Saturdays, 10 a.m. Obviously, last Saturday, little out of schedule. Helping my uncle, which is Steven's dad, put a roof on. But we want to do a little recap of Week 7. Big injuries, trades, a little bit of everything. So we want to just kind of touch base on it and go over a few things that we've seen and we've witnessed. Obviously, watching the different games, and yeah, I was always have Steven on the mic with me. Obviously, just got off work. He just got off work a little bit ago, and we're here. So, Steven, how you doing today, man?
Doing good, man. Yeah, I'm excited to talk some football middle of the week, man. Talk about some of these games happening over the weekend. There's some good games, man. So I'm looking forward to diving into them.
Yeah, a little change up too. Like this isn't gonna be a long-winded one like our typical Saturdays, but it will be just we'll just kind of be going over and covering everything. What's just a little bit of everything on Sunday. Not going to cover the lackluster games that happen. I mean, we'll speak on them, but it's not going to be an in-depth coverage of them. Um, Tonsil Stones boy said, Brandon, what's up? What's up, man? How you doing, brother? Oh, I think I just lost Steve. I did. Hold on one second. Let me get him back on the line. Give me 2 seconds.
Yo,
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. Why I keep getting booted. There's an issue apparently in my area with internet. So hopefully that doesn't can keep continuing. But yeah, Tonsil Stone Boy said, "What's up, buddy? How you doing, brother? I'm not sure who you are. If you do know me, what's up, man? Good to see you. Drop your actual name if you don't mind, so I can give you a shout out." But yeah, let's dive right into it, man. Thursday night, we seen the Denver Broncos absolutely destroy the New Orleans Saints. Um, I mean, we talked about it out the gate of the New York Saints coming back to life after scoring what was it, like 80 something points in the first 2 weeks of the season.
yeah,
I
they
think
were
it was,
going off.
and I mean they beat a Dallas team that on paper looks good, but I mean obviously over the weeks they haven't looked that great. So I mean the Denver Broncos seem to be finding their niche. They're running the ball well, that's for sure. Javante went off. I mean, absolutely went crazy. Any thoughts or concerns with this game? Because I want to kind of say like it's Ritter or Desmond coming in, and but honestly, Derek Carr hasn't looked great over the past couple weeks up until his injury. So I mean, what do you think the same problem is right now?
I think injuries are really starting to pile up for the Saints, and it's starting to get to the point to where they're starting to kind of sputter out. They're losing, they're losing their identity on offense. They just haven't really been able to get anything going. I mean, they were abysmal. I mean, in a game where honestly, we talked about it. It could go either way just because of the way that these teams are laid out with Derek Carr being out, and you got Spencer Rattler coming in, and he's played well. He's kind of played what you expect. He was 25 for 35, which is good, but he also only had 172 yards. So
Right.
a lot
Yeah.
of checkdowns, a lot of just no real downfield action going on. Obviously, not having Shaheed is a huge blow. That was their primary deep threat guy. But the
Not having
Broncos, I mean,
Michael
they
Thomas is the problem. That's the issue.
Slant Monster. I forgot all about him. Yeah, I forgot all about that guy. God dang, man. You talk about a guy that got paid and said, "Screw this."
The
Um,
reason why I said that is because I seen a meme today. It's actually made me laugh hysterically. And it said, with the recent news of Chris Godwin's injury, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers signed Michael Thomas to a 3-year deal, but he's not expected to play for 9 to 12 weeks. I was
that's a
like,
guaranteed deal
I was
too,
like,
so he's
damn,
getting
that's
paid.
cold. I was like, that's
That is cold,
cold.
but it's true. Oh, Michael Thomas. Yeah, what could have been, man? Jeez, that dude made a living off them slant routes with Drew Brees being on the money. But
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
uh, but the Broncos they did their thing, man. Javante Williams is starting to get in his stride and stuff, which is nice to see. I'm a big Javante Williams fan, and that knee injury that he had, it just really seemed to hamper him. But hopefully this was his big breakout game, and he keeps rolling. But Bo Nix played well, didn't turn the ball over, didn't have any passing touchdowns, but all in all, solid game by the Broncos, man.
Yeah, honestly, and I mean that's a big thing, and I think that's with any rookie quarterback, especially in this year. Barring Jaden Daniels is the anomaly here, but I feel like these rookie quarterbacks need a run game to help them, and the Broncos are starting to figure it out. I mean, Bo Nix is playing mistake-free football, which, I mean, I don't care who you are. If you're playing mistake-free football, you're going to excel. I mean, you should be in any game if you're playing mistake-free football, unless your defense can't stop a cold. Then that's a whole nother story. But yeah, I mean, it's good to see that Bo Nix is starting to get his feet up under him, and um, that team's starting to roll. Because I mean, you figure they lost that game to Pittsburgh early on, and they've been on a little bit of a run. And I mean, they're 4-3. They're sitting nice. They're not. They're not. They're not looking terrible. The comments are starting to roll in already, brother. So we got
Deal.
Joe. We got Joe. He's asking, should you start Josh Allen or Bryce Young, bro? We are Bama fans to the fullest. Me and Steven
I
are
think
Bama fans to the fullest, to the core, and it's been heartbreaking that they've been losing, bro. I can't even. It's not even a question to say start Josh Allen. I'm sorry, but
he's ripping us. He got to be. I know he's ripping us. He's got
no,
to be.
I mean, he's saying yes. He's saying yes after I said that we're Bama fans of the core. So he must be a Bama fan, dude. I love Bryce. I was hoping that Bryce could figure it out, but man, he's just he's saying roll tide. I know that's right. I know
Well,
that's
let's
right.
hope that this is. Let's hope this is like. I had his name in my head earlier, but
Oh, we got a little beef
Trent
going
Green.
on in the chat. Got a little
Uh
beef. We got Matthew and Joe. Matthew saying go dogs, and Joe saying roll tide. Okay, I respect it. I respect the dogs, man.
oh.
The
I
dogs.
respect. I respect the Bulldogs.
For sure, for sure. But yeah, Josh Allen is hands down the answer here.
Yeah, I want Bryce Young to shine as much as anybody, and
It just hasn't happened.
yeah, like I said, I want him to have that Kurt Warner deal, man. You know, Trent Green goes out, here comes Bryce, dude. But I don't know if it's gonna happen.
All right. So our next question. Pick two people. McMillan, DK, Pearsall, Mooney, or Keelan Coleman.
Okay, I'm gonna start with DK. DK has an MCL
Yes.
sprain. Um,
Yes.
he he's not expected to practice until I think Friday, so he might be a game time decision. Keon Coleman's been getting a lot of looks,
Yeah,
a
it
lot of
seems
looks.
it seems like Josh Allen loves Keelan Coleman. Honestly,
What's not to love, dude? The guy's
we loved
he's
him
a heck
coming
of a
out,
player.
man. We did love him. So
Yeah, he fell off a little bit with a lot of people, but we kind of stuck in there with Keon. Hmm. Well, keep an eye on DK, just 'cause DK is he's just that guy. I mean, he
for
could go
me,
off.
if I'm if I am if I had a pick right now with no if they're all healthy, I'm going DK and Keon. But you could also
Yep.
even and honestly, if you wanted to, Pearsall's about a lot of targets. Just for the sheer fact that Ayuk's down
Yep.
and Debo had that illness, so I'm sure he'll be back perfectly fine. But Pearsall is going to be plugged into that offense very, very quickly, and he's going to see a lot of targets. Obviously, they still have George Kittle. George Kittle's going to see a lot of targets himself, but Pearsall isn't a bad move either. And Darnell Mooney has been eating. I mean, Darnell Mooney has been eating, which is, to me, honestly, is a shocker, seeing how well he has come.
Yeah, for me, I wouldn't say McMillan, and I like McMillan, but just with the way that offense is right now, I probably wouldn't touch him. But
Yeah.
I'd watch DK and watch Keon. I mean, I would watch DK, but I would take Keon. God dang it, I said something. But I would watch those two, and then I would see how DK ends up going through the rest of the week. And if he's not able to play or he's going to be banged up, I'd go with Pearsall.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too, honestly. I'd go DK Keelan. Keelan's a lock for me, and if DK is banged up and it's not looking good for him, I'll go. I would go Pearsall as well, because it seems like that Atlanta Falcons team is starting to get Kyle Pitts involved heavy, and I mean that's really what they need to be doing, but they seem to be really getting him involved. So it might take away a little bit from Darnell Mooney, who's been absolutely stellar in that Atlanta Falcons offense. Moving on, we got in the super flex, and it's a PPR league. Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, and Debo. This is actually tricky to me, honestly, because if it's a PPR league, Debo gets a point per every reception. If it's a half point, it gets every half point. If it's a full point, a lot of people run full points. That's what I'm going to assume you're running a full point. And as much as I want to say, I can't see Dak not having a. Let me see. Who's their matchup this week? 49ers. I feel like Dak's going to come out and try and show out because of the terrible showing he's had. And I mean, Dak's going to rifle the ball. I mean, that's just what it is. But man, Debo is going to be force-fed the ball. I mean, let's be honest. The 49ers are down bad right now. He's going to be force-fed the ball. And, I mean, Russell Wilson on the same stature. When we'll dive into whenever we get to that Jets-Steelers final. First half, Russell looked terrible. I'm just going to come out and say it. And second half, Russell looked pretty damn good. I'll be honest. So, I mean, honestly, you can't go wrong with any. If I'm playing it safe, I'm going Dak or Debo. Just because you don't know. I want to see consistency out of Russ before I put him in my super flex. And that's kind of where I'm at. I think that you're going to get more points out of Dak than you are Debo, though. What's your thoughts on the Dak, Russell, or Debo?
Man, I don't think that that Dak is the problem with Dallas,
I don't either.
but
No.
I don't. But man, Dallas's offense right now is it just scares me. Like they're volatile and going against San Francisco. That like Patrick Mahomes kind of sucked that game. And
Right. Yeah.
I mean, all things considered, he kind of sucked. Dang, I would almost go with Russ or Debo. But I'm with you with Russ. Like I'm with
The
you with Russ.
consistency gets, and that's the thing. But here, maybe this will persuade you on the other side of things, and that's the one thing that I love about us doing this podcast. We're not just sitting here saying like, "Oh yeah, I agree. Oh yeah, this is what I'm going with. Oh yeah, what you said." But the way I look at it, Dak has lit up stat lines all season for the most part with touchdowns and with yards,
True.
barring the game. And honestly, you could even say he lit it up against the Ravens. I mean, against the Detroit is the only game that he didn't throw a touchdown. I mean, he lit it up against the Ravens at the end of the game whenever it was garbage time, but he's getting. Which surprisingly, the Detroit Lions, I thought that Dallas would at least throw a touchdown or get some yards, but Dak had an abysmal game. What was it? He was 17 for 33, 170 yards and 2 interceptions. So that's by far his worst game. But I think Detroit's defense is 10 times better than the 49ers in my eyes.
Yeah, the 49ers are kind of floundering right now. Yeah, that's a tough one, man.
That is a very tough one. I don't think you can go wrong with either three. Any one of them, I don't think you can go wrong, honestly. We got a trade. Trade Kareem Hunt, Bucky, and Bowers for Brees. And he actually gave us some intel. He has K. Dotton, he has CMC, he has Kenneth Walker, and A-Chain.
Jeez.
Brock Bowers just gets force fed the ball, man.
He's
That's all
awesome,
they.
man.
Yeah.
That dude's
I
special.
as awesome as Brees was against Pittsburgh, I don't expect that every week.
Right.
I don't expect that. I'm gonna have to say no. What's your thoughts on that trade? Just because Kareem Hunt has been very consistent, Bucky has been eating up yards. Obviously, White is there as well. And it's kind of like the Atlanta Falcons ordeal, where the Falcons, it's whoever has the hot hand, they ride it. So White, he played very well on Monday night, and they rode him. But Bucky also had some great runs. But Brock Bowers throwing that in there, man, that's tough. I'm keeping Brock, man. He's been way more consistent than Kate Otten, if that's you said you had. And you have CMC coming back, and you have Kenneth Walker, bro. Yeah, I can't get behind that trade, honestly.
No, I agree with you on that one. I can't really get behind that one either.
Oh, this is a good one from Matthew. He said, "Should I keep Jamison Williams or pick up Keon Coleman? If Keon Coleman is available, pick him up. JMO's our dog. Listen, me and Steven talk about JMO. We text about JMO. We love JMO. But JMO's a dumbass."
So disappointing.
I mean, if Keon Coleman's available, I would say pick him up. I don't know where you're at with it, but that's where I'm going with it.
I would say pick him up too, just because with Jameson Williams, he's a home run hitter every time he touches the ball. Sometimes he doesn't touch the ball, but with the suspension and everything else that's going on with him, I'd probably play it safe and pick up Keon. Just like I said, no disrespect to Jameson, but I mean, bad decisions, man. God dang, bad decisions.
Yeah, 100%. Bro, I
I'd
can't
pick
wait
up
to get.
Keon.
I cannot wait to get to this dude's question. I'm just sitting here reading it, and I'm mind blown at who he gets to start, and we get to pick three. All right, so what do we got next? He wants us to grade his trade. Did he win or did he not win? He just traded Pollard, Chase Brown, and the Chargers D for Jonathan Taylor.
Ooh,
I know where I'm leaning. I want to hear your thoughts on this. And I mean,
he
you already
didn't.
know. You already know where I'm going with Tony Pollard.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just like with Jonathan Taylor with the injury. That was the only thing that made me kind of ooh.
Yeah.
But he didn't really give up nothing. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
in the grand
Yep.
scheme, he
Yep.
traded three pieces, but
But
he didn't really he didn't sell
yeah,
the farm for him. You know?
I think you won that train, bro. Honestly, I think you won that trade. If I'm keeping
Yeah,
it honest, I think you won that.
I think so. If Jonathan Taylor comes back and he's healthy, and Anthony Richardson's still the quarterback, they're gonna be running the ball a lot.
Yeah, you're solid. You're solid, bro. All right, here's that question. Here we go. Who to start? Here we go. We can pick three of these, bro. I want to know how you have these three. How you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How you have 7 pieces to choose from is what I want to know. And honestly, if you're still in here, I want you to tell me who your quarterbacks are. I want you to tell me who your running back is and who your tight end is, because I feel like you got nobody. But all right, here we go. We get to pick 3. You got Devontae Adams, Romeo Dobbs, Darnell Mooney, Wandell Robinson, Tank Dell, Rashard Bateman, or Khalil Shakur.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say off the top, you have to play Devontae Adams because the dude
Yes.
had 3 catches for 30 yards in the first half. Didn't see another pass the rest of the game. I mean, he had some targets, but he didn't catch another ball. They're gonna force feed the living. Aaron Rodgers is force feeding the living hell out of Devontae. Start Devontae. That's one. So we got 2 more to go. Let me ask you this, being a Ravens fan. Bateman had an absolute monster game last week. Well, just Monday.
Yes.
Do you see that being a reoccurring thing, or do you think that's too many mouths to feed on that offense, and the ball just gets spread around too much?
As much as I want to say yes, and because I love Rashad Bateman, and I'm glad that he had the game that he had. I don't think that's going to be a consistent week to week stat line for him.
Okay, that's where
But
I
I
was.
will
as well.
say Zay Flowers still has that ankle injury, and he's still limited in practice. I'm sure he'll play, but that may be something to kind of keep in the back of your mind too. You know.
For me, I can't start Wandell because the Steelers aren't letting Wandell Robinson go off. It's just not happening. That defense has been so nasty. I almost got to go Adams. And you can flip flop one of these people, Dobbs Mooney, or Adams Dobbs Tank Dell, or Adams Mooney Tank Dell. That's the 3 I'm going with.
Yeah, I say Adams, Dobbs. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Like I said, I would love to give Bateman the nod, but yeah, I agree with you on that.
All right, Jake from State Farm's in here. It's actually not Jake from State Farm, but his name's
Jake and Bake. Okay.
Start Williams, Wilson, or Tua. Williams as in who?
Caleb.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. I'm assuming Caleb Williams, Russell Wilson,
Caleb,
Tua.
Russell Wilson, and Tua. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Caleb.
What's
Russell
the matchup?
Wilson. That's what I'm trying to freaking tablet would load.
I mean, Russ does got the Giants this week, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Russ got the Giants. That's what I was talking about earlier with Russ when we were talking about Dak and stuff. I was like, man, y'all playing the Giants. But
who's the Dolphins? Wait, am I dumb? I don't see. Oh, right there, Cardinals. Ooh.
Oh, they got the Cardinals.
Ooh. I want to see consistency out of Russell Wilson before I say anything, but man, that matchup is favored heavy. And Caleb Williams has the Commanders, which the Commanders have just been going crazy. And Gene Daniels was not a practice participant today, by the way, because of their injury.
It'll be hype.
Bro, I almost got to say Russ. I got to say Russ. I'm going Russell Wilson. I have to.
I know, with Tua coming back with the head injury, man, I'm like, damn,
That's
we're going to get with Tua.
Yeah,
dude, I just hope they
terrifying.
flip the script and Tyreek Hill goes nuts. Yeah, I almost feel like Russell Wilson's kind of the safe bet too, man. If you want to roll the dice a little bit with Tua, I mean, you can, but just coming off that injury, there's probably going to be some rust, you know what I mean? So, man, yeah, it's tough. But, I mean, like you said, I think Russ might be the safest choice.
Yeah, 100%. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, I'm going Russ. All right, so now we got. Hang on. So now it's switched up. It's Russ, Caleb, Tua, or Dak. Damn.
Russ, Caleb, Tua, or Dak?
Tua's out of the question for me. 100%. Out of the question. Just for the sheer fact that I'm worried about his head. First game back. It's kind of scary.
Who's Chicago playing again, you say?
They are playing the Commanders, whose defense has been playing great.
So, Arizona is currently giving up the 26th most passing yards to opposing offenses.
Damn.
Yeah, well, Baltimore's giving up, it's 32.
Yeah,
so,
I know. Baltimore's not.
Yeah.
I want to say nothing.
Number 1 in run defense, number 32 and whatever. Anyway. So there's that. Dang. What are the Giants
Back
at?
against
The Giants are 6. Giants ain't doing too bad against the passers.
They are not. They're not, honestly. And the 49ers are giving up some passing yards. They really are. If it's them 4, I got to go Dak.
Yeah, San Francisco is 16. Obviously that's just a reference. That's not like a end all be all.
Yeah.
Damn. Like if Tua was playing the past like 3 weeks, like it'd be easy. I'd be like, you're gonna start Tua, but
Yes.
yeah, shoot.
I'm rolling with Dak on that. Out of them 4. Now that you threw Dak in there, I got to roll. I hate Dak Prescott. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, I would roll with. I'd roll with. I'd roll with Dak or Tua. I said it.
Hey, I respect it.
You want to roll the dice, man? Roll with Tua.
I mean, you're 100% right. Honestly, you want to roll the dice too as the move. You want guaranteed points. Dak isn't coming out and not throwing a touchdown this week. I don't want to say I can guarantee it, but I can almost guarantee it.
We're still waiting for that big. CeeDee Lamb's going to explode at some point.
Yes.
It's just a matter of when. And San Francisco could be a prime time to do that.
Yeah, 100%. And I think is that a primetime game? Yeah, it is.
Oh,
so yeah. All right, so we got Dobbs, McConkey, or Wandell.
Oh, it's McConkey or Wandell.
Damn. I'm trying to fly through these so we can get on track here.
Dobbs has been playing really good.
Dobbs has been playing excellent, and it seems like
he had that little temper tantrum.
Yeah, it seems like Jordan's really trying to get him the ball too.
Yeah.
Out of them 3, I'm going Dobbs. Just because McConkey. Who do the Chargers have?
The Saints.
So that's Marshall Lattimore's. That's probably Marshall Lattimore's matchup. And Wandell is going to be with JPJ or Monta. So I don't like that matchup either way for Wandell. I mean, I got to go Dobbs.
Me too. Yeah, that's how I'm going with Dobbs.
Timmy, we covered yours. You must have stepped out. You said Dak, Russ, or Debo. We said you can't go wrong with Debo or Russ or Dak. Honestly, I feel that even though you're in a PPR, I feel like a quarterback's going to get you more points than Debo is. I know the Dallas Cowboys have given up a ton of points, but at the same sense, they went against a Detroit Lions team that put a big middle finger in the air and was throwing laterals to their 600-pound line. So I don't think you can go wrong with either of those. This D Wade broke knees. Pick up Tua, Darnold, or May as a backup QB. How is Sam Darnold in the backup QB status? First off, he has Lamar. He has Lamar starting, but he's looking for more at the bye week. He said, or Tom Brady for the locker room present. That's actually funny as shit. I love that.
It's always going to Miami, so.
Sam Darnold. I mean, there's no question.
I think I would go with Sam. Yeah.
Like I can't even think about
we're gonna get out of Tua.
Yeah.
Like we don't know we're gonna get out of him.
I mean, May's
he doesn't have anybody around him. Like he's playing well. His offensive line sucks. We say it every week. They're terrible.
Right.
Yeah, I'd play it safe and go with Sam just because we don't know what we're going to get with Tua when he gets back.
And then he asked also, do you play Reed against the Jags or BTJ versus the Packers?
I think BTJ is going to see a lot of Jair Alexander because BTJ has been
Yes.
going off. Yes, I would almost
But
play it safe with Jaden. Man, BTJ's been playing good.
and also if you think about it, and he made a good point with his comment. He said Jags will probably be trailing, so they'll probably throw a lot. That is a good thing you have to factor in.
That's true too. You got to get them garbage time points. It helps in fantasy. Honestly, I think those are two good options to have.
Yeah. Reed, the thing that worries me with Reed is if the Packers do score a lot, they're just going to try and start grinding the ball on the ground.
Yeah.
BTJ, if the Jaguars are down, they're going to be throwing the ball a lot. Man, I feel the safer bet is Reed and BTJ's the riskier part of it, but BTJ could be the bigger risk reward, and like you said, they could be throwing a lot. I don't think you can go wrong either way, honestly.
I think Evan Ingram came back last week. He had a decent game, but I think that Trevor Lawrence is really starting to get in a rhythm with Brian Thomas Jr. man, and he's been playing incredibly well. So yeah, you got two choices there, man. That I think they're both good choices to have. So
yeah, I don't think you can go wrong either way. Dontavian was the leading receiver last week. Texans, which
that's the thing with the
obviously
Packers. Yeah.
completely different defense and team than the Jaguars. But I know exactly what you're about to say, so go ahead and say it with the Packers.
Oh, they just spread the ball around. I mean, they just have such a luxury of young weapons. You got Reed, you got Dobbs, you got Christian Watson, and then you're like, oh shit, I need the fourth guy to throw to, and here comes Bo Melton. You know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah.
that's how they are. Deltavian Wicks, Tucker Kraft's been playing really well for them. Luke Musgrave hasn't really gotten going this year, but I mean they have so many options. So that's what's difficult with Packer receivers. So maybe thinking about it that way could be maybe safer to play BTJ, but just know he's going to get a lot of Jair Alexander, I think.
Yeah, I agree 100%. All right. Now we're caught up in all these comments. We appreciate every single one of y'all. If any of y'all are from last week on Saturday, please comment if we helped you or killed you with the picks that we made. I know we told everyone, literally every single person that literally had the word Tank Dell or not Tank Dell, I'm sorry. Tank Bigsby. I think there's probably 10 to 15 people that had about Tank Bigsby, and we literally said every single person, Tank Bigsby.
Tank.
Play him. And we made the joke that this could be the demise of this little podcast that we have going, because we're gonna get absolutely thrashed. And luckily, Tank came through. Tank had a monster game, 2 touchdowns. He went over the century mark. So if we gave you the correct information, and we apologize whenever I know someone asked Brock Purdy or Patrick Mahomes. And listen, that's not our fault. They both sucked ass.
Yeah, Brock Purdy sucked a little less ass.
we can't control 2 of the best quarterbacks in the league statistically. Well, Mahomes is arguably the best is the best quarterback in the league. We can't control when he has an off game, and clearly last week was his off game. But he did have a big 33-yard run. That I wish that someone would just smoke his ass so he'd stop doing that, but we're not going to get into that. So, jumping back to the coverage, we touched base on the Broncos Saints. Jaguars Patriots. Jaguars got that win in where were they at? They were over in London.
In England, weren't they?
London, yeah. They got that big win. The offense was rolling. Evan Ingram, it shows. We said it. If you have Evan Ingram, play him. T-Law loves him. There's not much to say about that game. The Patriots are just the Patriots. It's not a great. And actually, I'm going to go backwards 2 seconds. A lot of people were asking Tank or Ramondre, and we literally said we can't trust Ramondre, and
Mhm.
it panned out. It panned out. So shout out to us. If no one else wants to do it, we'll do it ourselves. Titans Buffalo. I mean, there's not much to say with this game, man. The Titans got out to a 10-0 lead. I was like, damn, Buffalo's really struggling. And then out of nowhere, Josh Allen went 21 for 33 and 323 yards passing. Absolutely went bananas. So, I mean, 34-10. It was to be expected. I mean, Titans are the Titans. Which brings me to the next point, and we kind of talked about it today. You want to? I'm sure everyone has seen it. It's a football fan, but you want to just say who got traded?
Yeah, the
I'm gonna,
Chiefs of all
I'm gonna
teams.
grab a
managed
drink real quick. So run through this. It'll take me 2 seconds.
No, you're good. Yeah, so the Chiefs were able to finesse a trade with Tennessee Titans so they could get DeAndre Hopkins, which I mean it's not the same D Hop as it was when he was in Houston or when he was even when he was in Arizona, but it's still DeAndre Hopkins nonetheless. The rich get richer. I'll never understand it. I mean, just because they're in the AFC, which I know the Titans aren't going anywhere, but I don't really see what to gain from by trading DeAndre Hopkins to arguably the best team in the NFL. So to me, it doesn't make any sense. But like I said, the Titans, they're not going anywhere fast. So they were kind of like, well, if they're the only ones that will give us a fifth and possibly a fourth if he pans out, I guess we'll just roll with them. So the Titans don't give a shit, but it sucks for the rest of the
Hey, I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
AFC.
Colts, Dolphins. Dolphins got out to a lead, blew it, and the rest is history. Tyler Huntley only threw the ball 13 times. like
They got bench for Tim Boyle, dude.
I I don't know. This team's abysmal without Tua. It doesn't make sense. We say it every week. Anthony Richardson didn't have a great game by any stretch of the means. 10 for 24, 129 yards. Very lackluster game, very boring game. Colts pulled it out, and about it.
There's one thing I want to touch on in this game.
Yeah.
Real quick. Jalen Waddle, 1 catch for 11 yards. Tyreek Hill, 1 catch for 8 yards. Tyreek Hill, 1 rush for 5 yards. That's all.
I want to piggyback off of that because I told you this statistic after the game. Tyreek Hill caught 1 pass in the first quarter. Jalen Waddle didn't catch a single pass until the fourth quarter. Just so everyone can let that sink in.
Dude, my man Jonnu Smith, though, it's like Arthur Smith is that man's freaking offensive coordinator, head coach again, dude. Jonnu Smith, go ahead. Have you a game.
Next game, Detroit Lions, Minnesota Vikings. What we said would probably be the game of the week, and it did not disappoint. David Montgomery, if somehow this finds this to you, fuck you. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Whoops. Anyway.
Flagged.
You're
yeah,
an
report
asshole.
that.
Yeah, report that. David Montgomery, you're an asshole for fumbling that ball. It was a great play by the defense, but you're an asshole, bro. I just needed Justin Jefferson to get 19 yards on a monster player prop parlay that I had in that game, and literally it's $100,000. And David Montgomery fumbling caused the Vikings to stop throwing the ball. And because they were in the lead once Detroit punted it to them, they tried to run the clock out, and the rest is history. Whatever. David Montgomery, I love you. You're my boy. You've been playing amazing, but bro, you cost me 100 G's, man. You cost me 100 G's, bro. But no, I mean Jared Goff once again played absolutely terrific. 22 for 25, 280, 2 tuds. Sam Darnold played an amazing game as well. 22, 27, 259, a tud, and an interception. The deciding factor, I mean, both running backs went off. I mean, the deciding factor was who is going to get a stop. And at the end of the game, they both got stops. And it just seemed like the Vikings, like they would put drives on, and then they would just fizzle out. They'd fizzle out. And it would end in a field goal. And I mean, Amon-Ra had himself a day, 8 targets, 8 catches, 112 yards. It lived up to everything that we thought it was going to be, and I thought it was going to be an absolute blowout when it was 21-10 in the second quarter, and then 28-10, and then it. Obviously, anyone seen the game, you knew what happened. But yeah, hats off to the Lions, man. Obviously, I mean, I noticed it watching that game, the pass rush. They better figure something out because having Hayden Hutchinson really showed last week. And you watched some of this game. What was your thoughts on this game?
I think Sam Darnold got a lot of unnecessary hate on social media. Just back to the same Sam Darnold.
Amazing.
He played really well. They just lost. It's not, it wasn't anything that he did in particular. He threw a pick. He bounced back. The old Sam Darnold would have threw. Yeah, the old Sam Darnold would have thrown 5 interceptions. He would have threw the first one, and then it's a nosedive after that. Sam Darnold played fine. He played his game. The Lions just were the better team. If I'm the Vikings fans, I'm not panicking. I mean, you lost to, arguably outside of yourselves, the best team in the NFC. So
100%. 100%.
Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with that. The better team won that day. We'll see you down the line, but both teams played really well. Really good game. Justin Jefferson had a good game. Aaron Jones. Jahmyr Gibbs had a hell of a game. That's who I really wanted to give a shout out to. Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah. He had a hell of a game. He's just electric, man. He's electric.
When he gets the ball, man, it's when he snatched that dude's ankles on that play. He turned that motherfucker, that person. I'm really screwing up today. When he snatched his ankles, man, I mean, me and you were on the phone, and I was screaming. I mean, it was wild. So, yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more with what you said. The better team won that day, and listen, there's nothing to hate on Sam Darnold. I mean, he has this Vikings team, and we said it just a couple weeks ago. The Vikings went from we aren't winning a game this season to 5-0, and you just lost your first game against. You didn't lose to the Las Vegas Raiders or to the New York Giants. I mean, you lost to the Detroit Lions. I mean, this isn't the Detroit Lions from the early 2000s. I mean, it's not.
Or 5 years ago.
Or yeah, I mean, I was trying to be nice.
The Detroit Lions ever? No, I'm kidding. But yeah.
I mean, it was a great game, and Detroit just pulled it off. And it wasn't like they pulled it off by a touchdown or 2 touchdowns, or like it looked like it was going to happen, because they all of a sudden Detroit just got rolling. They started scoring points in abundance, and the Vikings couldn't put up points. And then the Vikings clawed their way back, just like they did earlier in the season against the Packers. Or whenever they let the Packers come back, like the Packers did against them, they clawed their way back and showed adversity, and they showed that they have a change. I mean, we're talking about a last-second field goal that changes the game. I mean, granted, they had the ball back again and had a chance to go down and kick a field goal themselves, but it was like 13 seconds or something like that. So, I mean,
right.
At the end of the day, it was an awesome game. It was an amazing game. And nothing for Viking fans to be upset about or even attacking Sam Darnold, because if Sam Darnold had if he was 10 for 27 with 140 yards passing and 3 interceptions, I'd be pissed off too. But the dude went 22 for 27, 259 and a tud. I mean, his stats are almost damn near identical to Jared Goff's, except for he has the 1 interception. And the one interception wasn't even at a detriment of the game. It wasn't like it was what set up Detroit to kick that game-winning field goal. I mean, Detroit's defense just got to stop, and that's what happened.
Yeah, defenders get paid too, man.
Oh, damn. What's up, Slick? Slick just asked us. He said he's 6-1 right now in his league, and he just got offered Nico Collins and Njoku for McLaurin and Bowers. I love Nico. I love Njoku. Love them both. Nico, I'm not sure when he's designated to return. I think he has to sit out 4 games, isn't it? Because he was put on that pub IR.
Yeah. I don't know if he's a weekend or 2 weeks in now.
McLaurin has got a good repertoire with Jaden, and Brock Bowers has just been eating every week. Okay, so he said he's out 2 more weeks. Yeah, okay. And Njoku, that quarterback situation, I mean, Jameis is your boy. Jameis is getting the start, obviously, with the unfortunate injury to Deshaun Watson. Is Jameis a tight end fan? Do you think Jameis is going to force feed Njoku?
Well, if he gets to start over DTR, which is frustrating. Yeah, I think that Jameis is smart enough to know who his targets are. Know Amari Cooper, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
It'd be hard not to. I mean, Jerry Jeudy hasn't. I'm not even going to get into him. He pisses me off. But yeah, I mean, I could see him targeting Njoku a lot. I really could. Yeah. Man, that's a tough one. Yeah, because Njoku's just he's so hot and cold, and like we talked about last week, man, tight ends are just so. Like right now, there's like 5 that are really just exciting, but the rest of them, it's kind of a mixed bag, you know.
Right. And Njoku had himself a day last week.
Mhm.
He played well.
Yeah, solid.
It's
a really good game.
I mean, 10 receptions on 14 targets, 76 yards. And I mean, for me, I do believe Nico's better than McLaurin, but I think Bauer is better than Njoku. So
yeah, see, yep. And you don't know how Nico's going to be because hamstring injuries, man, they can
nagging.
They can just them soft tissue injuries like that, especially to a position like wide receiver. I mean, we've seen with Mike Evans. You know, I mean, this could be just a nagging, continuous thing. Unfortunately, I hate to say that because Nico is having an amazing year.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. And he makes a good point. He said he doesn't see Commanders continuing the hot streak. Their schedule was extremely easy so far, which I don't disagree with that. But I truly believe that Jaden is that dude, and honestly, I think you're going to see the Commanders in the playoffs this year. I really think that. Their defense is playing way above what they were expected to. I don't think that they're going to dominate teams like you've seen every single week. It just seems like every week the Commanders are just blowing someone out. But I think a real test, if Jade's healthy, I should say, against Caleb Williams, because this is the match everyone wants to see. The number 1 overall draft pick to the guy that has been lighting the NFL up. This is the map everybody wants to see. And if anything, paying attention to Daniel in college, this man's going to do everything to get back on that field for this game.
Yep.
To prove that, listen, I'm the real deal. But he's going against an amazing Chicago Bears defense. So could the real showing of Jaden show out? Because I mean, look what Baltimore did to Jaden. He had a good game, but he didn't have the game that he had against New York, against Cincy, against Arizona, against Cleveland.
Right.
So I mean, it's a fair case. I mean, honestly, I almost got to stick with Bowers and McLaurin, man, honestly. Just because Brock Bowers barring an injury, Brock Bowers is just going to eat all year. I mean, he's getting a million targets a game. What do you think? You think he makes that trade?
No, I agree with you. I like I said, Njoku is just a little too volatile for me, and then we don't know how Nico's going to come back when he is healthy. And honestly, Marcus Mariota played as much as I hate six. I can't stand the dude, but he played really well.
Mariota.
So, oh, I almost dropped it. Uh, screw him. Anybody that quits on their team is a punk, dude. But yeah, he's a bitch. Yeah, I think Terry's I think he's safe. I think he's just one of those safe guys because Mariota
you're,
has control of the offense, and
you're gonna get
uh,
consistent yards out of him. You're gonna get consistent catches.
exactly. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, we appreciate that question. Hey, hey, bro. Listen, I want to give you a shout out right now, and I'm gonna read this comment to Steven just so that appreciation right there. That's why we do this. Like, bro, we're not in here. We're not asking for money. We're not asking for people to donate. We're not none of that. We're not here for that. We're literally here because this is what we do. Any other time we talk about sports, we talk about football, we talk about basketball, and that little show of appreciation, bro. That much love, man. That's much respect. He said, "You guys make some really good points. I was just thinking about the upside of Nico. Like, bro, that's respect right there, man. Like, I appreciate that. Thanks, man. Hats off to you, bro.
Healthy Nico though, man.
Yeah, healthy Nico. If he didn't go down with an injury like he did, healthy Nico, I'm telling you to take that trade. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I hope it works out for you, whichever way you decide to go, man. That's just our opinion, but do some research. Maybe Nico's on the up and up, and he's going to be healthy. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. That's how Brandon feels about it. So.
And I mean, diving right in, Cincinnati Bengals, Cleveland Browns. Uh, Cincinnati is not a scary team to me. As scary as I think every week. Granted, they cashed our bet. We went 4-1 this week on our bets. We had another win week in the gambling world. We've been on literally 7 weeks of consistent money making weeks. We have not had a losing week in 7 weeks. But since he's just not scary, man, their defense is horrendous. And Joe Burrow, bro, I'm sorry. I said it before. I'm going to say it again. If you take T. Higgins and Jamar Chase away from Joe Burrow, bro, I know you kind of like you were shaky on my comment, but bro, you're looking at Kenny Pickett, dog. He's an average ass quarterback.
Yeah, but Kenny's not even average.
Joe Burrow
Kenny's,
is
just
a
happy to
bomb,
be here.
dude. Oh, bro, Slick, are you a Bengals fan?
You did it now.
He just said no, man. Don't do Joe Burrow like that, bro. I'm sorry, man. Like, bro, what? Listen. You seem like a very realistic fan. You seem like a very realistic fan, and just like I am with the Steelers. Oh, you're a Steelers fan? Oh shit. Well then, screw it. But I'm a realistic fan when it comes to any team in the NFL. I call it how it is. It's just what it is. Tell me what Joe Burrow has done since that Super Bowl run. I mean, we can sit here for the next until I fall asleep on this microphone because I know you can't come up with anything. I mean, Steven is a football head just like I am, and I don't know if he can come up with anything. If you take away, and we live on Joe Burrow's past, and that's what bothers me. Everyone is so locked in. Well, Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl. Okay. If Patrick Mahomes went to one Super Bowl, will we be living on his past? I don't think.
We would. They still can't stop talking about Colin Kaepernick.
I mean, you're not wrong, bro. You're not wrong. You're not. That's a fair point. I respect it.
I'm
But like,
joking. Well,
no, but think about it. I mean, realistically, and as a Steeler fan, like, why aren't we just stuck on Justin Fields taking the Bears to a Super Bowl or to a playoff game that they haven't been to in X amount of years? Why are we stuck on Justin Fields as a running back throwing the ball? Like, it's a double-edged sword at the end of the day. But I'm sorry, Joe Burrow, you take T. Higgins and Jamar Chase away from him. Joe Burrow's mediocre, man. And I think this season is really showing that. What's your thoughts?
I still like Joe Burrow.
Bro, it's not even
No,
that I
I
don't
get what
like
you're
him.
saying
It's
though.
not
No,
even that I don't like him. I like Joe. I do.
I get what I do understand what you're saying. Yeah, it's because it's been painfully obvious at times. You know, like when T. Higgins has been out or something like that. It's been kind of obvious too, and I just wish that people would get off of the Burrow hype train until he comes back and proves it again. I mean, is
Yes.
he going to be able to complete? Is he going to be able to finish the season? Let's start
Yes.
there. Let's stop talking with the Super Bowl talk. Their defense stinks. Their offensive line is getting dismantled with injuries. Like, let's just let's focus on can he get through the damn season. If they get to the postseason, then we can start talking again. But it's like
Yeah.
he's having a solid year. But yeah, like Jamar Chase
I'm
is Jamar Chase. You know what I mean?
right. T. Higgins is T. Higgins. I mean, as long as he's healthy. Slick just said Justin Fields is not a quarterback that can lead us to a Super Bowl, not even close. Okay.
No,
And
that's fair.
I don't want you to have to sit. I'm not sure what you're doing if you're just chilling on your phone or on your computer, whatever you're doing, watching us on TikTok. I don't want you to have to sit around till the cover until we do a little recap on the Steelers Jets. But I'll say this, and me and Steven have been doing this for the past it's been 2 years now we did this, we started this podcast. We just
Has it been
started
that
on
long?
TikTok. Yeah, I think because last year we started it. We were just doing it on YouTube though, so we started on TikTok this year.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
we started off the draft and yeah, okay, yeah.
so for as long as Justin Fields has been in the league, I have dogged Justin Fields to the absolute. Like you would have thought that he ran my dog over. That's how
Yeah,
bad I would
he
dog
has.
him.
Yeah, I can
And
vouch for that. He has.
I'm not a Justin Fields fan. I'm a Steeler fan, so I want Justin Fields to succeed and to be great and be amazing. Can Justin Fields lead the team to a Super Bowl? No, I agree with you 100%. The Russell Wilson showing in the first half was the Russell Wilson that I anticipated. Like he's not it. I mean, Russ is getting tired. He's getting old. He's not Russell Wilson from 6 years ago in Seattle, which it's understandable. He's getting up there in age. I mean, it is what it is. The second half, Russell Wilson, I was like, damn, okay, we got something. And granted, you got to shake the rust loose, blah, blah, blah. At the beginning of the season, in our very first video, I said that when it comes to Pittsburgh, I think that Justin Fields gives us a better chance to win a regular season game because of his dynamic of running the ball. But in a playoff scenario, if you have to throw the ball to win the game, I think Russell Wilson gives you that dynamic to win that game. Did I not that, Steven?
No, you did.
So I agree with you, and I think that we're in a very weird position in Pittsburgh as far as quarterback situation. If Russell Wilson can play, and don't get me wrong, quarterbacks have off days. Patrick Mahomes just had literally like one of the worst games of his life. I'm talking back to high school. This past weekend against the 49ers, who have their defense has been absolutely trash. Every quarterback's gonna have an off day, and I'm not gonna say, "Oh, get Russ out of here, bench him. He's terrible." Like after one game, every quarterback can have a bad game. But I want to see some consistency from Russ, and I will be on a Russ bandwagon.
Yes.
And and as far as Justin Fields played well enough to only lose us the we only lost 2 games. One we should have won against Dallas, and the Colts game our defense didn't show up, and that's just what it is. I wasn't on Russ or on Justin Fields. Our defense didn't show up, and with the defense that we have, I think that we are in shape to beat any team in the NFL with the way the defense playing. Knock on wood, barring any injuries. But that's what I had to say about Russ and Fields. I do feel the same. I don't Justin Fields can lead us to a Super Bowl. I don't think that. I will not going to say that. If he does, bro, awesome, awesome. But that was a little long-winded. Let's dive right back into the coverage. Slick, greatly appreciate it, man. Appreciate the comments. I appreciate you showing some love and much respect. But another great game: Texans versus Packers. C.J. Stroud was terrible. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
And Jordan Love wasn't that much better. I mean, Jordan Love has a lot more yards, touchdowns, but he threw interceptions that were horrible. But CJ to throw 86 yards
Yep.
was it wasn't a great game, that's for sure. And they got themselves in a position to kick that field goal with a minute 48 left, 35-yarder, and then McManus bombed that 45-yarder to win the game. I'm glad I didn't watch that game. I watched the Detroit game because I like C.J. Stroud, but man, that would have been painful to watch.
It was brutal.
Yeah, it was brutal. CJ just that offense for some reason is just kind of stuck in the mud right now. Like
Which is weird
they
because they're running
yeah
the hell out of the ball.
yeah like oh Joe Mixon he came back and he's like he hasn't missed a beat.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but CJ's kind of taken a step back for losing Nico Collins is a big hit, but I mean the rapport he has with Tank Dell and obviously you got Stephon Diggs, you know, so their offensive line I noticed especially was playing like absolute shit against the Packers. They were playing I don't know how many times CJ had gotten sacked in that game or pressures or anything. I don't have those stats up and I just know just from what I was watching. Like CJ did not have long in the pocket at all, which still at the level of quarterback that he is and what people, myself included, expect from him, they expect him to be able to make it work.
Right.
Still a close game, miraculously, but yeah, all in all, CJ Stroud did not have a good day.
Yeah, but hats off to the Packers finding a way to win, man. That division is absolutely insane between the Lions, the Vikings, the Packers, and the Bears. I mean, it's nuts.
Yeah,
Best division in football right now, hands down.
agreed. Yeah, very young teams too. That's the big thing. Is I mean they're all freaking young and just they're fun to watch. I mean, Bears
They
or
are.
whatever, but yeah, but no, they're fun to watch.
So next game is a game that I wanna touch on, and not spend a lot of time on it, but I do want to touch on it. The Seattle Seahawks absolutely decimated the Atlanta Falcons, who honestly we have been speaking like the Falcons the last 3-4 weeks have been the Falcons that we expected. They're rolling. They're playing well. I mean, just everything's clicking, and it looked like they went backwards against Seattle. I mean, they got nuked on.
Yep.
I mean, is this us saying Seattle's back after losing 3 straight and they were undefeated and then they went on this tear of losses? Or did the Falcons just have an off game?
I want to say they just had an off game. Like that's kind of what I want to go with. Is that they just had an off game. I think they'll bounce back, but yeah, not a good game on their end at all. I mean, Bijan had a good game, but you know, Kirk wasn't
The
hurt.
turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler Allgeier, he played well, you know, but he didn't get the ball much. They gave Jace McClellan, Roll Tide, 5 carries, you know, and I don't know what the hell they were doing on offense. I don't. Kyle Pitts was involved in the offense, didn't score. Drake London had a good game. you know, they just apparently they just couldn't score.
Right. I do want to say that we talked about Bijan or Algier, and I said if history repeats itself, it's going to be Bijan's game to go off because it's like every other week, and I mean, Bijan went off. It doesn't happen every week that we damn near predict every single question that everyone asks us correctly, but this week we did. I mean, we hit the nail on the head with almost every single pick.
To clear something up real quick, I just had a Booger McFarland moment. Okay, so when I said that apparently the only thing they couldn't do was score, yeah, Captain Obvious. But what I was saying was offensively, it looks like they did everything right on paper. They just weren't able to, finish drives or get in the end zone and score. That I just had to clear that up because I was like, man, I just had a moment because I was like, yeah, no shit, dude. You know what I mean? But I was like, it's not what I meant. Okay, I just had to get that out.
Slick made a good point. He said if Geno Smith could play consistently like that, the Seahawks could be a powerhouse. There's so much talent on both sides of the ball, which
Yeah.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. You live and die by what Geno Smith does, in all honesty. And we say that every week, especially if we're honing in on a game, because I thought this is going to be a really good game for both teams. And,
Yes.
I mean, Seattle just beat the brakes off of them. But we say it all the time. What Geno Smith are you getting? There was some trade news, if you want to drop that, with the Seattle Seahawks, which was kind of shocking. And you can dive into that because we mean you were actually speaking of it.
Yeah, that was strange. I don't know if it's gone through yet, but they're talking about the Seahawks trading Jerome Baker, who has played really well for them.
That dude's been everywhere. He's been everywhere.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal. And they're talking about trading him to the Titans, but the funny thing about them trading to the Titans is they're going to trade for Ernest Jones. Ernest Jones just got to the Titans, like not long ago,
right.
from the Rams. So the whole thing to me is just, it's confusing as hell. I don't know if there was just a breakdown, to me it's just strange. Maybe Ernest Jones wasn't getting his footing with the Titans, but I don't understand why the Seahawks are trading Jerome Baker, but that's a possibility coming down. So, yeah, like I said, I don't know if it went through yet, but that's kind of what's circulating around.
Yeah, Jerome Baker has been amazing for that team. And it kind of shocks me. And especially after a win like that. If they would have got blown out by Falcons, okay, maybe they're like, all right, maybe we need to start evaluating and try and get some pieces for the future, blah, 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 whatever. But, I mean, they're still in half decent shape. They're not in the worst shape in the world. I mean, they're 4-3. They're they fell 3 games, Detroit, New York, and San Francisco. But I don't know. It's shocking to me to see them kind of shy away from Jerome Baker and potentially, I don't know if it's 100% thing, but potentially trading him. So
It did go through. Yeah, he got traded to the Titans.
Oh, okay. Well, there it is. So he did get traded.
Yep, he has a 62.7 grade on Pro Football Focus, which is not great, but
it's not. Yeah, it's not the best, but it's not horrible. And it seems like he makes big plays when they need big plays. Philly and the Giants. We said coming out, well, we said there's no way that the Philly, Saquon going back to New York, blah, blah, blah. We said there's no way that they fall on their face. They just can't. The team is too talented. The team is too good. They're healthy. They just can't. It's not possible. And I said it on the podcast last week that if Philly does not win this cover, because it was disrespectful. No, I can't use that word because I'm going to use that word on Monday. It was ignorant that they only favored the Eagles by, I think it was like 5. I forget exactly what the line was when it opened up and when it closed at. But there's just no way. And Saquon had himself a game.
Yeah.
Saquon went crazy. And I do want to say, mad respect for Saquon whenever they asked him, what was it? He was like 13 yards away from
Oh yeah, it was like career high. Yeah.
his career high, and he said, "No, let the young guys eat." So it was 3 points, by the way, was the spread on this game. But he was 13 yards away or something like that, very close. And Sirianni went over and asked him. I'm sure everyone's seen the clips. He said, "No, I'm good. I don't need that." And that's big respect for, because a lot of people in the NFL, it seems nowadays, are all their personal accolades. They don't give a damn about their team, and I respect Saquon for that, honestly.
I do too. And in hindsight, it could be what we're going to talk about here in a little bit. Could be a Chris Godwin situation. He goes out there and tries to break the record and blows out his knee.
Yeah,
So I think
don't get me
all the way around, I think it was a good call.
With this game, divisional game, usually played tight, very hard nosed, very just gritty type of football. Even though the Giants aren't that good, are we talking the Eagles finding their stride? Are we talking about them starting to get rolling?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, not yet. I say give them another week. Who they got this coming week?
They got Cincy. Which,
They got Cincy.
I mean, Cincy ain't that great.
No, they're not. But I feel like with Philly, this is the recipe you need right now. You need to run the ball with Saquon and make him the focal point of your offense. And Jalen needs to hit throws when he needs to he needs to make throws when he needs to make them. He can't sail these damn balls anymore and throw it in the dirt and do all this bullshit. Like, that's what they need, is to run the offense through Saquon, and Jalen Hurts needs to play his game and be smart with the football. If they can do that against Cincinnati, I'll buy into it.
Pretty favorable schedule. Cincy, Jacksonville, Dallas, Washington, Rams, and then they hit Baltimore, Carolina, Pittsburgh, Washington, Dallas. So I mean, if they're gonna find their stride, now's the time. And it's not like we're talking that they're 1-5. I mean, they're 4-2.
Yeah,
they're not in a bad spot right now.
No,
So,
my biggest takeaway from that game is your boy,
not my boy.
Kenny Pickett, got to throw the ball one time. He didn't complete it, but he got to throw it.
Yeah, he came out and killed it. So
Yep.
You know, actually, I have scoreboard up on the stream, and I see a glaring issue right here. The New York Giants lost 28-3, and they had a better third down efficiency than Philly did.
Interesting.
Philly was 1 for 13 on third downs.
Jesus.
That's horrendous.
That's awful. That is so bad, especially with that offense.
And to be honest with you, they dominated the turnover battle. They had the Giants had 3 fumbles. I mean, them fumbles don't happen. We might be talking about it a different way. I mean, the Eagles might be banned off the list, bro.
Portnoy did it. Portnoy said, "No, never bet the Eagles again. You guys are bad."
You're not wrong. Commanders, Panthers.
What a game.
Panthers news. They're starting Bryce Young again. They're tired of the Andy Dalton experiment.
He got in a car accident.
Wait, who did?
Andy Dalton did.
Really?
He broke his thumb, or he fractured his thumb, I think. Yeah.
I didn't even see that. I'm glad you said that because I was about to trash him. Now I feel bad.
Yeah, he got a car. He's fine. Otherwise, he has a broken thumb. So.
I I mean, after the game he had on Saturday, he probably crashed the car on purpose. No, I'm sorry, I'm joking. I don't mean that seriously. It's just jokes.
He probably did.
2 interceptions, 93 yards passing. I mean, you let the GOAT come off the bench after an unfortunate Daniels injury. Took a hit. His ribs don't. There's no status. Do you have status on his ribs?
I don't think he practiced.
Yeah, that's anything. Unless he didn't
Yeah,
practice.
I think that he's going. I think he'll be. I think he'll play.
Well, we said it. This is the game that everyone wants to see against these rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much to say. Carolina shit the bed. It was terrible. Mariota comes in 205, 2 touchdowns. We had some questions on Chuba Hubbard or Brian Robinson. They kind of had almost the same stat line. Chuba had 17 carries, 52 yards a tud. Brian Robinson had a little bit more yards. He had 12 carries, 71 yards and a tud. I mean, you got a point or half point out of Brian Robinson over Chuba. Couldn't go wrong with either. Yeah, I mean, Commanders are rolling, man. They got a tough matchup this week against the Bears. And if I'm not mistaken, their schedule starts to get a little tougher. Yeah, you got New York, you got Pittsburgh, you got Philly, Dallas. I mean, if Dallas keeps playing like the Commanders are going to dog walk them. You got Tennessee, they should win that game. New Orleans, if they keep playing with it. I mean, we're talking about a Commanders team that realistically, I'll give them a loss this week just because we don't know the certainty of Jaden. Loss against Chicago, win against New York, loss against Pittsburgh. That's 2 more losses. That puts them at 4. That puts them at 6-4. Loss against Philly. Put them at 7-5 or 6-5. And then Dallas win, Tennessee win, New Orleans win. I think they split the games in Philly. I'm going to be honest. I think they split the head-to-heads against Philly. They win one and they lose one. I mean, we're talking about a 10-win team here, I think. And they could honestly win that division.
So I just read Ian Rappaport reported on Tuesday that Daniels, who suffered the injury in Week 7 against the Panthers, was very much in doubt for Week 8 against the Bears. If Daniels can't practice on Thursday or Friday, Marcus Mariota will likely get the start.
Damn. That's
Yeah. So yeah, I thought. I mean, just by the way he was on the sidelines and stuff, he seemed like he was all right.
That sucks. I
It
want to
does.
see that matchup. But
I do too. Yeah, but I think Dan Quinn's kind of trying to be smart about it. Like, I don't want to run him out there and
risk
make it a
worse
multi-week injury type deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because ribs, man. I mean, rib injuries
Yeah.
suck, dude. You can't breathe. Like,
Yep.
yeah, they suck.
Can't do anything.
No.
Rams Raiders.
Poor Raiders.
I was gonna say it, man. The MVP of the Raiders team was Dan Carlson. 5 field goals, lit it up. And to be honest with you, the Rams couldn't do shit either on offense. And if they don't get that sack fumble on Gardner Minshew, the Rams lose this game to field goals. But, I mean, there's not much to talk about. Obviously, if you want to touch base on the potential trade that could possibly happen with the Rams, they're looking to move a receiver. So if you want to touch base on that, I guess that's the coverage we got on this game.
Yeah, Gardner Minshew has probably the worst game out of any starting quarterback this year. But yeah. I mean, they've set him up for failure anyway. To be honest, I mean, I don't care who you are, that offense stinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. yeah, Brock Bowers is yeah, that's all you got.
Oh, he ate again this week though, 93 yards.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's all you got. Yeah, I mean, I like Trey Tucker too, blah blah blah. But anyway, yeah, there's really nothing to discuss about this game. I was trying to see when Puka, if there was any updates on Puka, but they're saying that the Rams are talking about potentially trading. Uh, oh my God, white dude, Cooper Cup. Yeah, they were talking about him potentially being traded. Uh, no team yet has really come forward as being like a front runner for him or anything, but Brandon was telling me that the reports were saying that they wanted like a second round pick for him, which is, I mean, that's ridiculous. I'm sorry, but just the way the market is now as far as receivers go and everything, I'm not giving up a second round pick for a guy who's been injury prone the last, 2-3 years. I mean, I like Cooper Cup. It's nothing against Cooper Cup, but it's just a bad investment if you're a team, in my opinion.
And what was that statistic that I read to you or texted you? He's only played 21 out of a potential 53 games.
Yeah,
Which
see, that's
that's. I mean, we're not even talking 50%, dog.
and it's unfortunate because I mean he was putting together a legitimate like potential Hall of Fame career just
He was
off
rolling.
of just sheer numbers. Yeah, yeah, he was, man. So I mean it sucks.
And we like Cooper. I mean, Cooper Cup's he's a beast if he's healthy. But a second round pick when Devontae Adams just got traded for a third, or the Ram. I know y'all don't care about draft picks over there, but y'all better turn that draft pick into like a fifth because DeAndre Hopkins just got traded for a fifth. Amari Cooper got traded for a what did Amari Cooper get traded for?
I'm sorry, I was trying to get my damn tab out the lid. I think it was like a fourth. Was it a fourth?
I think you're right on that. So
This is questionable for week 8.
I would hate to burst the Rams bubble, but they ain't getting a second for Cooper. And if someone does buy into it, y'all are dumbasses. And I say that now, watch it be the Pittsburgh Steelers. But
We'll be like, oh, there's our guy.
we'll get him for 2 games of the year. Be all right. There's not much to talk about that game, man. Honestly,
Wait, hold on. Amari Cooper was a 6th round pick. Wait,
there it is.
3rd round pick and 7th round pick. Sorry, yeah.
All right, so 3rd and the 7th, and you're gonna tell me that Cooper Kupp is gonna pull a second? Or are y'all crazy?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. But hey, we'll see. Trade deadline's approaching fast, and we'll see if someone takes the bait and tries to go get Amari. Or no Amari. Goes and gets Cooper. Chiefs and 49ers. We kind of touched base with this entire podcast, honestly. Both quarterbacks had horrible games, and they both sucked, and Brock Purdy just sucked more.
Yeah.
No touchdowns from either of them. 3 interceptions from Brock, 2 interceptions from Patty. Kareem Hunt did the damn thing. 2 touchdowns, 78 yards. The Chiefs defense is no joke. It's no joke. And it pains me to say that, but the Chiefs defense.
No, you're right. You're right.
It sucks. I don't want the Chiefs to three-peat at all. I don't. I'm sorry. And I like Patrick Mahomes. It's not that I don't like him. It's just it's a lot. There's a lot. That's where I'm gonna leave it. Big.
So the only people that are sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The only people that are really defending Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs with the whole like penalties not being called, especially at crucial times, are Chiefs fans. But those Chiefs fans are the same fans that were bitching years ago whenever the frickin' Patriots were the Chiefs.
Yes.
Like, Honestly, like, call it like it is. I don't care if it's your team. Like, I get it's your team. Well, I'm a Baltimore fan. We're the most penalized team in the league by a lot. Okay, so I mean, whenever you have video evidence just showing like the holds, I mean, blatant. Nick Bosa was getting held that entire game.
Yeah, every snap.
Nothing. Yeah, and I'm like, we talk about it periodically. We haven't talked about it much lately, but I mean, it's unbelievable. I personally, Brandon will still watch the games, but I won't watch the Chiefs. If they're in prime time, that's just an excuse for me to go to bed. So I mean, it sounds messed up because I do love football, but like, I don't care who they're playing because at the end of the day, I'm just like, oh, here we go. So yeah, I just don't put myself through it.
And I mean, I can't say I blame you honestly, because it's painful to watch. It really is. It's You can't win unless you. I don't even know what to say. I want to say perfect football, but they're gonna find a way to throw a flag on you. That's just what it is.
Yeah, we just talked about it before. It's like we want the best players going against the best, but is
without
Patrick
help.
Mahomes really the freaking best right now? Like, I mean, yeah, he is, but like, there's an argument to be made. You
Yes.
know, this dude has more interceptions, like, uh, overturned in their favor. He's had more interceptions overturned in his career than Tom Brady had in his entire career. And
And
Tom Brady
Peyton
played for
Manning.
like 22 years.
And Peyton Manning.
And Peyton Manning. Like, come on, dude. Like, I get it. Oh, there's holding on every play. Like, that's a lame ass excuse, bro. I'm sorry, but it
Yeah, I
is.
hate that. I hate that.
I do too. I mean, technically, yeah, you're right, but come on, dude. I've seen Daniel Falele's call in the Baltimore game. Like, dude, listen. That's no.
It's rough, honestly. It really is rough. It's just it's every
It's
week.
boring.
Yeah,
It's boring. Like, I don't know how else to put it. It's boring.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all, honestly.
Like, it's football, dude. We're always trying to make celebrities out of these athletes, and it's so goddamn annoying. It's like, dude, like, just let them play. They're sport. I don't know. Whatever.
They don't need help. He's already great. He doesn't need help.
Yeah, you got your face in the league.
Yeah,
Like, he is the
exactly.
face of the league. You don't have to
Exactly.
you don't have to do this dumb shit. Like, these refs need to be investigated. That's what they need to do. They need to
I
investigate these
agree.
damn refs. I think these
And it's
refs are gambling.
I agree. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, there's just too many questionable things. But
And it's on video. It's on live
right,
television.
it's on live
It's on
television.
TikTok everywhere.
Yeah, it's on Facebook Reels. It's literally every. I mean, listen. I don't know if I should say this, but I when I put bets together, you know what? We give out picks for free, and we never ask for money. We're never going to ask for money. Um, I literally look at who the referees are for matchups. Um, and this is how in depth and how much work I put into the picks that I make each week. Um, Prime example: Monday night, I locked the Ravens in. I locked the Ravens in damn every week, and the referee for that game, when he is the referee, if the team that is favored is 4 points or less favored, it hits at a 66% of the percent, which 66% in the sports betting world is enormous. And if the over under is hang on, I have it wrote down. Give me 1 second. If it is 51, if it's I'm sorry, 50 points is over under on the spread. The cover of the favored team by 4 points or less jumps up to a 72% of the time. And they cover the spread or cover the points. They go over the points on 78% of the time. The final of that game was 41-31. That's 72 points. It blew the over out of the water. The Ravens were up by like 20 at one point. The -4 was a guaranteed lock. That's how much work I put into these bets and that I give out for free every day. I look at who the referees are because there's tendencies that happen that you can't deny. And if you don't take sports betting serious and you're just a casual bettor and you're out here paying for picks and you're like, okay, I'm going to follow this guy. This guy says he has a winning record and this guy guarantees a win. Listen, I work a 40-hour-a-week job, if not more, every single week. And I probably put another 40 into sports betting. And I'm very profitable at doing it. And I give this shit out for free. I will never ask for money. I will never sit on here and say, "Oh, I won. I've gave you 7 weeks of winning. Where's my donations?" It's just not what I'm going to do. Because it's something I'm going to do regardless, so why not put it out there? And that's how I've always looked at it. But the rest, it just goes back to your point of the rest being needs to be investigated. Those numbers just the tendencies don't add up. It doesn't make sense. How can a referee be that consistent in over 60% of the time when these numbers are certain numbers and over 70% on this certain number that it hits? And it's a moneymaker. And if you take sports betting seriously, I mean, and you never thought to check into the refs, maybe you need to start doing that. I can go on and on about sports betting, but that's a little secret that I honestly never told anyone. And if I could get Carlo in on this stream one day, Carlo's been betting with me the past 6 years. No, not 7 years, 8 years. Yeah, 8 years he's been betting with me, and we've never had a losing season. And I've hit on, I forget what the percentage was last time we checked. I think got like a 69% of the time we hit on winning bets, which the best handicappers in the world can't do that. And I'm not sitting here patting myself on the back. Steven, me and Steven are the same way. We don't give kudos to ourselves, but that's just a little food for thought for anyone listening. If you want to take sports betting serious, start looking into the referee matchups and who's reffing the game. I was a little long-winded, but once I started, I couldn't stop. Leave people on a cliffhanger. But in that game, obviously Debo went to the hospital, and then if you want to touch base on the big injury that happened, unfortunate, but hey, I mean, there's a lot of them.
Oh, sorry, it cut out. What was the last part of that?
The key injury that happened in that San Francisco Chiefs versus the Chiefs game. The Ayuk injury.
Well, yeah, it was a good run. Finally got him back, and I mean that injury, man. Honestly, I hate to see that happen to anybody. You know,
Yeah,
I've kind of gone back and forth with you, and Brandon Ayuk had a devastating injury. I mean, just a hit that just caught him just right, and yeah, he got his knee blown out. I think it was if I remember right, it's like a torn ACL and MCL, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So yeah, Brandon Ayuk will not be back this season.
And he just started
obviously.
getting rolling.
Yeah, he was starting to heat up. He was starting to knock the rust off and everything after his holdout or hold in, whatever you want to call it. But after his holdout and all that, so.
Oh, damn. No, that's good.
So
that's good.
He's out, man. So it sucks for San Francisco, man. It sucks for Brandon Ayuk. Like I said, I hate to see it happen to anybody. And we talked about the Browns game earlier, and I just wanted to say too, Deshaun Watson. Anybody who's seen the video, if you're squeamish, probably don't want to watch it. But Deshaun Watson, me and Brandon knew right away, like his Achilles is gone.
Yep.
But he tore his Achilles, and fans were like, I mean, they were like cheering.
They cheered and
Yeah,
booed him off the field, dude. Like that just
I
shows
don't,
how distasteful that fan base is.
I don't care. First of all, he was never proven guilty of anything. Um, but that's America, though. You're guilty until proven innocent. Even when you're proven innocent, you're still guilty.
Yep.
But we don't know what happened behind closed doors. I think a lot of them sounded like uh, he was just trying to like shoot his shot or whatever. Maybe he came on a little too strong. I don't know. Some dudes are like whatever. But regardless of how you feel about somebody, like in those situations, if he would have did the R word to a woman, I'd back you 100%. Boo him out of the stadium. Absolutely. But the guy really, in hindsight, just going off of everything and reading the transcripts and everything, he didn't really do anything. That was, they settled. It's over with. He had one come out. I don't know. She must have been in frickin' France or something and just popped in and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna sue him too." I don't know. But
She missed the train.
yeah, she missed the gravy train. So booing him like that is it's just distasteful. It's not right, and they're trashing Myles Garrett now too, and Jameis Winston for trying to stick up for Deshaun, and I agree with those two. I really do.
I've seen
It's not right.
I've seen reports that Cleveland's might be looking to move Myles Garrett, and it's very weird that it's coming out right after he stood up for that. Like, bro, if y'all moving Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, you know what I'm saying?
We would be in the same division with that, man.
I mean,
Damn.
I wouldn't be mad at it. Cam Hayward getting up there in age, bro.
I don't know what they're gonna do with Myles, man. That team sucks. I said it. You know what? If you're a Cleveland fan, I'm sorry. That team sucks. Your organization sucks. You guys have no continuity.
I'm not even gonna say I'm sorry.
Yeah, poor Kevin
some
Stefanski. Stefanski's getting his name dragged through the mud. Like, it's your frickin' owner and your damn GM, man. They suck. You can't build a damn team, and then once you guys have something good going, you ruin it. Like, I feel bad for the fans. I think y'all are just a bunch of sadists at this point that just enjoy the pain, I don't know what it is, but that organization sucks, and there's a lot of loyal fans that have to endure that. Aren't they trying to build a new stadium?
Yes.
Like, who's paying for that? I know the taxpayers, wink, wink, but, like, for what? What are you building a stadium for?
They can get that Super Bowl money, dog. They're building a dome.
Well, I bet they're sick of people getting, like, hypothermia because there's nothing to get excited about, so they just sit there in the dog pound. So they're like, oh, we're going to put it in a dome so at least you're freaking warm in the winter. Like, I don't know. The Browns piss me off, but no, I had to touch on that, man. Yeah, so shout out to Deshaun Watson. Like I said, whatever he did behind closed doors, I don't think it was worth booing him off like that. That's
Nope.
not right. Anytime somebody gets hurt like that, yeah.
It's just a distasteful fan base, honestly. It's what it is. And I mean, it's Cleveland. It's trash just like Philly and Buffalo. I mean, I hate to say it, but hey, it is what it is. You can hate us for it. You can not watch the stream for it. But
I think people who live in Cleveland know Cleveland's dumb.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. But moving on, we got 3 games left. Steelers game, we already touched base on it, talking with my man Slick. Yeah, Steelers look great. Defense had Aaron Rodgers shook. We said it when Devontae got traded. We said it on Saturday. Devontae doesn't solve their issues. He doesn't just come in and solve their issues. And Pittsburgh's defense is just rolling. And this is the scary part about the defense. And a lot of people think like, oh well, Pittsburgh's defense, you think TJ Watt, which it's hard not to think TJ Watt. But TJ Watt didn't have a sack. He didn't have a sack fumble. He didn't put pressure on Rodgers to force the interception. Like, the defense is just rolling. PQ is really finding his stride in this defense. But the MVP right now, without mentioning TJ Watt's name, is Deshaun Elliott. That dude is playing his ass off and absolutely the dude is a perfect fit to let Minka roam the back end of the field. And Deshaun Elliott's playing everywhere else. And what a signing this offseason by Pittsburgh, because and you even said it, you love Deshaun in Baltimore, and he's a match made in heaven in Pittsburgh. But big win. First half, Russell Wilson didn't look great. We were making fun of him. Me and Steven were on the phone. We were like, bro, what is this? We anticipated, and the fans did start getting antsy. They started booing him off the field after the third straight possession without first down. And the second half, Russ came out. I don't know if it was rust. I don't know if it was nerves. It could have been a combo of both. You figure he hasn't played. And that game speed, you got to click back into it. And Russ showed out, man. He really did in the second half. And I give props where props are due, and I can't be mad at it. George Pickens, you get him involved, you throw that ball up, man. You have a real shot at come down with it, or at least a pass interference, and it showed. And everyone that hates on Najee, man, y'all need to give that man an apology. That dude is ran hard. The harder than I've seen him run in his entire career. And unfortunately, Pittsburgh's not picking up his 5th year. I have a feeling some team's going to pay him big money, and then it's going to be a real unfortunate to not see him in a Steelers uniform next year. But it's the NFL. It's a business, and hopefully, maybe they can figure out a way to keep him. But what was your thoughts on this Jets-Steelers game?
Oh man, I was just taken aback at Aaron Rodgers, man. Aaron Rodgers growing up is one of my favorite players, and still love the dude, like he's one of the very few athletes that's real, whether you agree with him or not, but he's
100%.
The dude's a legend. But dang, man, I have never seen him turn the ball over like this, like ever. I mean that,
It's
like
bad.
literally ever. The damn Jets offense Breece Hall in the receiving game had a phenomenal game, obviously, but as far as running the ball, it's Pittsburgh. They're hard to run against. Unless you're Rico Dowdle, which makes no sense. But man, the Jets offense just looks like crap. Their defense wasn't playing. They just haven't been playing like we're used to with the Jets defense. That's usually their strong suit. The Pittsburgh, man, hey, dude, Russell Wilson was out there. He wasn't afraid to take some shots. He looked like he needed a little more drive on some of them balls, but what we always say, man, one of the best plays in the playbook, man, is an underthrown go route. And I think he had 2 of them. Yeah, I think he had 2 of them, the George Pickens, man. So there you go. It won't show up in the stat box, but
put him in
yeah, man, it'll
position.
get you the yards, get you in the red zone. That's a freaking Lutely, man. It's an easy 40 yards. Yeah, Pittsburgh looked like they really were starting to get it together in the second half, man. So we'll see what Russ does this week.
Hey, listen, the NFL, and I want to say this, as a Steeler fan, the NFL said, here is your first half of the season. Mediocre, Mike, you better hope you don't lose a couple of these games, because the second half of the season, you're about to get flooded. The Steelers' schedule, they're the only team in the NFL that hasn't played a divisional game, and they got Philly, don't they have the Chiefs? The second half of the schedule is just murder. They have, let's see, they got the Giants this week. Then they got Washington. Then they got Baltimore. Then they got Cleveland. They got Cincy. They got Cleveland. They got Philly. They got Baltimore. They got Cincy. They got Kansas City, and then they got Cincy again to close out the season. The second half of the season, we're gonna see if the Steelers are real or not. And that's the closeout on that game.
Yeah, that is a tough schedule, man. Deshaun Elliott, by the way, 81.4 grade on Pro Football Focus, man. That's pretty damn good.
Go ahead, Deshaun Elliott.
Pretty damn good.
Next game, I've been saying it for weeks. I've been keep riding the money train, and this is where the word disrespectful comes into play. They disrespected the Baltimore Ravens by only favoring them by 3.5 points against the Buccaneers. And I said it, it's the lock of the week. Put your mortgage on this game. Baltimore Ravens are nuking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And by God, did they ever. Lamar Jackson with another 5-touchdown performance. And not one of them was on the ground, which is crazy to me. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got out to a lead. Baltimore answered with, I think it was like 30 straight unanswered points or something insane. It was 34 unanswered points. I'm sorry, I stand corrected. It was a little more. Bro, I mean, this is the best team in football. And I've been saying it. You're a Ravens fan. You don't want to say it because you don't want to jinx them. I understand it. But this is the best team in football. And I'll let you take over on that. Speak on what a performance from Marlon Humphrey, and obviously key injuries coming out of this game.
Okay, this was a big win, a continuation of hopefully things to come. But I'm going to be the one that rains on the parade a little bit here. Okay, so Lamar had it offensively dominant, great, fantastic, loved every minute of it. It was great. Baker had some plays that we got some turnovers and stuff. Baker had some stupid throws, whatever. But late in these games, and it's happened quite a few times this season, our defense starts to kind of be like, we got this, bro. Like, yeah, we're just going to chill, And then the teams just start creeping up, and they start scoring points. And, yeah, it's garbage time. You know what I mean? But when we go against an offense that, for some reasons, is sputtering in the, first 3 quarters or whatever, we're going to find that offense that's like, in the fourth quarter, they turn it on. And they have one of those Tom Brady freaking Atlanta Falcons, Super Bowl deals. And we're going to freaking get beat, dude. And the defense has to stay locked in the rest of the game. I mean, you got to finish the damn game because, Tampa Bay was just, you got to play the damn game. And if you're up big, that's great, man. I'm all for, setting the starters or whatever. Like, I'm all for that. But our starters were in. And it was like they just, we got this. And they just took their foot off the gas. And they've done that a few times this year. And I'm afraid that it's going to bite us in the ass. But offensively, played great. Marlon Humphrey had a huge game. It says, though, he did have an injury in the game, which I was worried about. It looked like he bumped knees, but they were worried it was going to be a major injury. But according to this, Ian Rappaport said it is not a major injury. And they're not sure if he's going to play in Week 8. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like he may rest because we're playing the Browns. I mean, don't play him. Yeah, just let him rest, But I don't know. That's my takeaway with the Ravens, man. We keep Derrick Henry, keep playing that style of ball because he's broke off big run after big run after big run all year. I mean, the first trying to figure out how we were going to use him and get our offense right, but he's been unbelievable for us. And then Lamar Jackson, the way he's throwing the ball, the way he's running around, I mean, he looks MVP better than I've ever seen him.
MVP type season.
Yeah. He looks better than I've ever seen him. I mean, he's going through his progressions. His mechanics get a little screwed up, so he doesn't get the air under the ball that he needs sometimes. He doesn't drive his throws sometimes. But, man, he looks fantastic. I just hope we can keep rolling like this, man.
100%. And then, obviously, the big one, Chris Godwin. If you've seen any clips, he asked the training staff, is his career over? And they told him, yeah. Let's hope that's not the case. Terrible, terrible decision on Todd Bowles. And Todd Bowles isn't backing down. He doesn't regret his decision to have him out there. Which is kind of wild to me. But hopefully Chris Godwin can get right, come back. He's only 28. Chris Godwin was a monster year, man. He really was. and it just feels bad, especially losing Godwin for the season, and you don't know about Mike Evans' hamstring, which you've seen it pop. So it might be rough sledding for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield with the interceptions, but it's just another unfortunate injury. And this injury is a little bit more significant than the Ayuk injury, just for the sheer fact that the Ayuk injury came at a time where they're still in the game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers weren't. I mean, yeah, they're down 10, whatever. Bro, they were down 20 points like late in the third quarter. Like, why? Well, I don't get it. But it's just it sucks to see someone. It just goes back to the Sean Watson thing. It sucks to see someone get hurt at any aspect, any type of athlete, and unfortunately, it happened to be their star receiver.
Mike Evans, they said they do not anticipate having him back before the team's Week 11 bye. So
Damn,
he's gonna be out for a few weeks.
There's that.
Yeah.
For Chargers Cardinals, I don't have shit to say. I'm glad I couldn't watch this game. The only thing I do have to say actually is the NFL's money grubbing. You couldn't even watch this game unless ESPN Plus. I literally have NFL Sunday ticket, and you get every single game under the sun, but not on Monday night if there's a doubleheader. Apparently, ESPN Plus, got to pay for it. You got to watch it. And thank God I didn't want to watch this game, and I didn't pay money to watch this game because I just was checking stat lines, and it was horrendous. I don't know if you have anything to say on this game, but I damn sure don't.
That was bad, Kyler. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, it was bad, Kyler. You know,
The thing that's
seems
crazy.
like it's
The
What's
thing
that?
that's crazy, and this goes back to the not getting in the end zone thing. I didn't even realize this stat line until just now. I just looked at it. I just pulled it up, and it's on here right now. Justin Herbert went crazy.
Yep.
27 for 39, 27 to 39 passes, and 349 yards passing.
No touch.
No
touch.
touchdowns, no nothing. Bro, I don't. Cardinals squeak it out. That's anything I have to say about it. I mean, dude, I don't know, man. I don't get it. How do you have 3.5 football fields worth of yards and you don't have a single touchdown? What? Like what?
I don't know. Yeah, the Chargers started off white hot, but it seems like if you're able to neutralize their running game, it's like Justin Herbert doesn't know how to throw a football anymore. I don't get it.
Well, they neutralized this game and he threw for 350.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, fair enough. I mean, he threw for 350 scoreless fucking yards. I dropped it. Damn it. Oh, my bad.
I dropped 2 of them. Who cares?
Yeah, that's true. Oh, man. Oh, well. Anyway, yeah, just, I don't know what's wrong with either one of these teams. These teams they're up there with the Eagles. You know, it's just like, what is wrong with you guys? Like, the Cardinals, their defense is kind of shit, but, like, what is wrong with you guys?
Yep.
You have all this talent on paper, but you guys just can't put it together. Hopefully they get it going. I don't know.
Yeah,
Being a Cardinals fan has to blow.
Yeah, that would suck. That would suck bad, bro. That would suck so bad.
The Chargers fan, like, dude, you guys have a championship. You look at them rosters y'all had in the mid-2000s, God dang.
Oh, my goodness. We've talked about it so many times, dude. Broken record type shit. But, on that note, we said it was going to be a short one, but we're an hour and 51 minutes in. There's a lot of good conversation here, especially people commenting. That took up a lot of time and asking questions, and we love that shit, man. I hope it keeps coming. I hope it keeps coming in a vengeance. Like Saturday, we got hammered with questions, man. I love that. I loved every bit of it. And I mean, we do this anyway. This is why we started this podcast, and it's fun. It's fun to talk about this stuff, and it's fun to go over these games. This is the first recap we've done all season. Last year, we were recapping pretty much every game, and it got to be a lot. It's not that we didn't want to talk about it, but, I mean, we were talking 2 hours every single we no it was they were our podcasts were longer than that last year because we were doing recap and doing coverage of the next week. So we're talking 3-4 hour streams, and it got to be a lot. So I like that we're doing this in in segments and breaking it up a little bit. It's a lot. It's more refreshing that way because you start to like ramble and you start to like it just shit doesn't make sense or you just start to be like, all right, I'm over this shit. Like let's get this shit over with.
Yeah, and you kind of what happens too is you start to, like you said, you ramble, but you're trying to remember like who did this guy who are they playing against again? You
Yes.
know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you got you're bouncing back and forth, and it makes kind of makes it a pain in the ass. That's like the behind the scenes stuff that like most I don't know YouTubers and shit like that probably don't talk about. But yeah, I don't give a shit. I'll talk about it. Yeah, just
Yeah.
bouncing
Honestly.
back and forth. It could definitely be confusing, but we're going live off the cuff, so
Yeah. This is raw. There is no edits. There's none of that bullshit. You're hearing us in the flesh, and that's just what it is.
yeah, we can't afford an editor, so I'm just kidding.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, realistically, I set everything up. I edit everything. I mean, we go through things. We go through clips, and I edit them and I post them. So I mean, it's a 2-man wrecking crew with my uh my lady. She holds it down. She monitors a lot of the pages and stuff. And I mean, we got a good team here, and I wouldn't want to bring an outsider in, to be honest. But Steven, closing thoughts. We're at the hour 54 minute mark, so we got 6 minutes before this all cuts off. It's like it let us know. It's like, hey, bro, y'all been talking a long time. Cut this shit off.
Yeah, you're using up your minutes. Yeah, you can't call past 9. No, man, I freaking yeah, there's probably a bunch of kids in here that have no idea what the hell I'm talking about.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah, you call me after 9, bro. Call me after 9. Uh, no, just thank you guys for tuning in. We had a couple people come in and ask some questions and stuff like that. We appreciate the conversation, appreciate the bouncing back and forth ideas. The one guy, he made some really good points on why he wanted to make a trade and everything, and we appreciate you guys dropping in and doing that and stuff. Like I said, we just like to BS, talk about football, and just I don't know. We want to hear other people's opinions, other people if we're right, if we're wrong. So we appreciate everything, the negative feedback, positive feedback. We appreciate it from everybody. So thank you guys.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of that, we haven't had any negative feedback because I'm making y'all money, and me and Steve are giving y'all the best fantasy advice in the history of time right now. So let's hope that continues. Because I know how. Listen, I'm the same way. I know how everyone is. Like you're on board with someone if they're giving you the right information, but they give you the wrong information, it's raps. You're trashing them.
Yeah, so
So
shout out to Tank Bigsby.
yeah, shout out Tank Bigsby, man. That could have been the detriment of this podcast.
That'd be it, dude. It'd be over.
No, but we, like Steven said, we appreciate every single one of you. Slick, appreciate you, man. Big respect for the respect showing and the comments of like showing like, hey, you guys do make good points, like, and that means a lot, man. It honestly does. I got nothing else. Steven, you got anything else?
No, that's all I got, man.
All right, so this is the recap podcast. I know you guys, a lot of people haven't seen that, especially TikTok. We've never done a recap podcast on TikTok, so this is the first one. Depending on my work schedule, we may try and get a couple more of these in throughout the year, and I mean, we'll be back at it Saturday, covering the games coming up for this weekend, and we do have a game, actually. Real quick, we have 3
I was
minutes.
gonna say, do you got any predictions for tomorrow's game?
We got to speed run this. We got the Vikings versus the Rams. Vikings -3 is kind of disrespectful, bro. I'm gonna be honest, bro. That's disrespectful. This falls in the line of the Ravens, man. I'm taking the Vikings -3. I haven't even looked at anything. I haven't looked at the game. I haven't looked at anything. I'm taking the Vikings -3 just because they lost against Detroit. This is disrespectful as hell. And Steven, I already know what you're gonna say. Matt Stafford finds a way.
Not in this
somehow.
one.
But yeah,
He always does, but yeah, not in this one.
Vikings -3, man. Bounce back game. Get back in the winning train. Early look at the next week's games. I don't know if I'm going to be on the Baltimore money train next week. They finally didn't disrespect them and only favor them by 3 points or 4 points or 6.5 points. They got these people favored by 8.5 points. I don't know if I'm going to be on that train. I don't know. We're going to look at it. We've been on Baltimore every single week since the week one. I don't know, but they did disrespect the Green Bay Packers at -4 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Just an early look in for Saturday. But yeah, Minnesota Vikings -3, lock it in. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you called that out. We appreciate you guys. We gained more followers again this stream. It seems like it's a growing trend. We're gaining followers every stream. We're gaining more people commenting, reaching out. Y'all want to talk about more sports coming up Saturday? You good with 10 a.m. again?
Yeah, that should be fun.
All right, Saturday, 10 a.m. We will be live back here on TikTok and on YouTube. All our socials are on the TikTok page. The Facebook is linked there. That's where I put all our links. I know people have Telegram. I'm not messing with Telegram. Too many scams go on to Telegram. Facebook is where I put my official plays at. We appreciate every single one of y'all. We are Brandon and Steven because all we do is BS about football.